So a few days ago, I think it was 3 days ago or so, I received a letter in the mail from St. Paul, Minnesota. And inside there was $150 cash and also this note here. Jason, it is my hope that you could give an analysis review of these movies. Number 1, Finders Keepers. Number 2, Revenge. Number 3, Dead Shack. And if willing, I have a bonus request of some kind of hate. Thank you for all that you do for us in the horror community. No name, completely anonymous, $150, someone from St. Paul, Minnesota. Yeah, so I watched all 4 of these films yesterday and today at work, because these are all online, and I sat at work until 12:30 tonight to make sure I finished all of these damn movies. I got all the notes here. Let's do this. So we're gonna go in order of his list, starting with Finders Keeper, and that is the notes that are right here. All right, so this is currently streaming on Tubi. And shout out to my buddy Daniel White, who doesn't use Tubi because he thinks that the commercials are out of control. And so I actually took a commercial tally here, because we always make fun of them. We're like, dude, there's really not many. There was 2 commercials throughout the entire thing. The first set of commercials was 1 commercial that ran about 10 seconds. Then the second commercial came about 45 minutes later, and it was like 4 commercials, maybe totaling 1 minute altogether. So like a minute and 15 seconds gave me an entire film for free. Didn't have to pay for the service. I don't have to do nothing. All you got to do is sit through a few reviews. Now, commercials. But yes, other films have more. So I'm assuming that the more popular a film is, the more ads that people want to run on it, so on and so forth. So if you watch, newer, more popular stuff, it's probably gonna have a lot more. But for films like this that have a 3.3 on IMDb, when I saw that rating, I was like, oh fuck. But he gave me $150, or she. I'm gonna go with a guy. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, okay, here we go. Now, of course, we're going to do spoilers here. This is about a bunch of, let's say, young adults who are going to, like, urban explore a school. They have this, like, text narration opening. Well, it's like text opening, no narration, no voiceover. And the music is cool throughout. I really like the music. And the text in the opening, I always feel like that's very effective to have like that, facts on the screen kind of opening of like X thousand people do this per year and this many go missing and this many this and that. And this is about people who go into places that have been condemned or whatever. And take pictures and hang out and whatever, and very few people ever get injured or die during this. But of course, this is the scenario where they did. Now they kind of set this up like it's a haunted house, haunted school movie, I guess, and it does not play out that way at all, which I actually kind of liked. I thought that was a cool subversion of expectations, because they keep talking about hauntings in there, and you keep waiting for that to happen, and then it just turns into almost like a home invasion kind of film. Some guys outside are raping a girl. They kill her. They kill one of the boyfriends in this douchey fucking idiot who has this god-awful accent, and his acting is atrocious. The acting in this movie and the dialogue kill this film. That is why this has a 3.3 on IMDb. The acting is rough. The dialogue in here, a lot of it is bad. Like one of the actors, all the villains in this are pretty terrible to me. Even most of the protagonists. Now, what this movie does have, and even though her performance isn't the best, I don't care. The thing that this has for me that is the standout of the film is Danny, the you know, quote unquote final girl, although she's one of the final girls. And the other girl as well is cool, and she has her moments. But Danny's like the badass chick. She's got, you know, she's got this past where she was in the Marines, and she's got Semper Fi tattooed on her. She's working out, and she's fucking throat punching dudes that are fucking with her. And she beats these dudes to death and all this stuff. So she's badass. You know, she kind of reminds me of the chick from You're Next, obviously. And so for me, that was like the thing that kept this movie going. You know, she's a pretty tiny little girl. So believing that she could fuck up these huge dudes, you know, it's a tad bit of a stretch, but, you know, I don't care. I really don't. It's cool. And let me tell you what, if, you know, she doesn't do a lot of hand-to-hand combat with these guys. So that is a little more believable. And if you don't expect it coming from anybody and they fucking straight up throat punch you, I don't care how small they are, that's going to hurt. So that I can buy. And then she, you know, claps some fucking dude over the head with a pipe. You have the smallest fucking girl in the world, you know, just clock you with a lead pipe. You're going down. I don't care how big you are, man. You get hit in the head by a lead pipe, you're done for. And then she smashes his fucking head in. This girl is not playing around. She kills everyone in her path, and I love that shit. So does the other girl, though. She slits a dude's throat, and that scene's actually awesome. She's like, stay back or I'm gonna fuck your dude up. And he just keeps walking forward, and she's like, fuck it. And she just stabs him real quick in the neck, and he dies. And that was amazing. I was like, yes, yes, thank you. This is the kind of shit you never, ever, ever see. So that was great. So these two girls make the movie. Then there's another chick in this movie who is very attractive. I mean, all the girls in this movie are pretty attractive, but this girl's probably the best of the bunch, and she shows her tits a decent amount, and everything is wonderful. So definitely did not mind her in the movie. You get three friend fake out scares in this movie. 3 of them. And they all come with music and loud bangs and all this shit. And oh my God, 1 is unforgivable. 3 is like, should be punishable by death. That's insane. 3 fake out jump friend scares in a fucking movie. You should be ashamed of yourself. That's just awful. And this boyfriend that this girl has in this movie, was he French or something? He goes out to break up the rape. She has to like force him to go out and help this girl. What the fuck? And then she's constantly trying to fuck this guy, and he's being such a dick to her the whole time. Is this how I get a hot chick like that? Is this how I get a hot chick to be my girlfriend? Is to treat her like shit? To be like talking shit to her and, you know, forcing her to do things like, oh, go back to the fucking car and get the map because you're the navigator, and, you know, all this shit. It's like, oh my God, does this shit really work? No, I mean, it does for some people. And any girl that, I guess this is what it comes down to. For any guy out there who wonders that kind of shit, like, oh, girls like assholes. Okay, I know people have said this before, like, no. Women don't like assholes. Girls like assholes. I'm going to take that one step further. Any girl who's into assholes isn't worth your fucking time. So if you're sitting there upset at some chick because she's into assholes and you're like, oh fuck, I have to be an asshole to get her? No. You don't want her. Any girl who likes an asshole is fucked in the head. And you don't want anything to do with that. So this chick, as hot as she is, not worth it. He can have her. I have no interest. Because I always have that thing where I'm going to prove to them, like, oh, this is what you're worth, baby. I'm going to fucking show you what you're worth and you're going to care. No, they're not. They're like assholes because they're fucked in the head. Okay, that's the issue. You can't fix it. So stop trying. I did. I finally given up on that shit. I'm done trying to fix the girls to come in and be the knight in shining armor. Fuck all of that. No way. No, thank you. The girl who, she's one of the final girls too, and she ends up being pretty rad, but there's some dude there, and he's like, hey, you want to fuck? And she's like, sure. And she like leads him on so hard. Now, okay, I guess thinking about it right now on the spot, I don't know her past with him. So she does say that little dick of yours, you know, whatever, something along those lines, that little thing you call a dick or whatever. So maybe they've had a relationship in the past. Maybe, you know, maybe that's said in the movie and I missed it. But regardless, whatever it is, it does feel really fucked up that she like lets him take off his shirt and come up to her and like, you know, he's all excited and everything. And then she's like, get the fuck out of here. And then he's like, well, fuck you. And he like goes to leave. And she's like, oh, come on back. We can still do it. You won't last long anyways. And all this, like still antagonizing him after he's already left, after you've already turned him down after saying you would. That's just vindictive evil shit. Now, as I said, I could see it that he's an asshole and he deserves this. Like he's hit on her all the time. He's a scumbag, this and that. And this is not the most tactful come on. When he said that originally, I was like, oh, this must be her boyfriend. Clearly isn't. And it is a douchey thing. And I guess her response of this, I guess thinking back about the scene, I could see, because I was really like, wow, what a fucking bitch. But I guess I could see why it's not so bitchy in the moment. So I guess I could look past it. And because she becomes pretty rad in the end, I'll allow it. I'll allow it, okay? There you go. I've absolved you of your fuckery. Or lack thereof, should I say. That same dude sacrifices his life for that chick, and he's like, run, run. She never does. She's like, no, I'm not going to leave you. And she just stands there, and he takes one for her and dies. And she's just still standing there, and she still ends up fighting this guy. And it's like, why didn't you rush him when the guy was on top of him and fight back and all that if you were going to do that anyway? Like, if you had a knife in your pocket, and you know, it is what it is. But I was just like, really? Wow. And then they go upstairs, the two final chicks in the end here, and they're trying to hide out from the main bad guy who's just dreadful. And they're talking at full volume, and even to the point where at, you know, moments in it, they start like yelling. And I'm like, aren't you guys supposed to be hiding? And then Danny goes to try to take the gun. She jumps across the table. It's their big move. So she jumps across the table and she knocks herself out. She jumps across the table and grabs the gun and knocks herself out. That's some shit. And then she just shoots him, and you think like, oh, there's going to be a final jump scare, this and that. And they even get to a knife fight, her and, you know, the blonde chick and him. And it's like really poor. And you're like, so all of a sudden she's what? Steven fucking Seagal? Like, what is this? But regardless, she has a knife on her. Maybe she's a fucking knife expert for all I know. She slits some other dude's throat and cuts another dude. So that's, you know, okay, why not? Let's say she is. Here's another thing that's probably addressed in the movie, and I just missed it. You never know. But yeah, Danny even kind of has her Rambo moment in this movie where she has like almost like a flashback, and she's like freaking out, and she's like, you know, no, I'm not going to leave anybody behind, and that's fucking, you know, that's not what we do. And she has her full Marine moment, which I actually kind of liked. You know, she's the best in the movie for sure, for me. Some people would probably find her to be blah and generic and whatnot, but I liked her. She definitely makes the film for me. Titties! Exclamation point. Hot. All capitals. Wow. And I think we're pretty good on this one. So, yeah, this wasn't for me. But I appreciate the note, the letter, the money, obviously. It was really fucking nice. And I'm going to move on to the next one. But, yeah, I could see liking it. I could see, like, thinking that this was, you know, overlooked. And if you really liked those characters and some of these, you know, moments that kind of subverted expectations, like thinking it was going to be a ghost movie and then it's not. And then having these, like, badass final girls and all that. Like, I get that. I get that. I think people will be like, oh, well, Jason got some money from this guy or girl, and he's trying to defend the movie, even if he didn't like. That's not what I'm doing. I'm genuinely saying, like, I can understand where the like comes from this film. But overall, I just, I wasn't huge on it, but, that is what it is. All right, let's move on.